It's wild how we let some people into our lives, isn't it? Like, it's a total mystery sometimes. Relationships are tricky, all wrapped up in emotions. But then, on a lonely night, when you just want to feel a little better, you make some pretty simple choices. That's exactly what I did that night. The morning had kicked off with a little spat about the same old grind in my long-term relationship. He wasn't a bad guy, but some relationships just quietly run their course. I knew I needed something new, a change, for myself. That evening, I hit up a hotel in the city that hosted a singles mixer once a month. I'd heard about it forever, wondered what the vibe was like, who went there. I was just plain curious. Figured why not check it out. Walked into the hotel and immediately got 2 free drink tickets. Ahead was this huge open ballroom. At first glance, it felt like a college prom night, but everyone was way older. I'm in my 30s, but even there, I was on the younger side. Even if they were older, everyone was dressed up and looked sharp. Some even radiated this cool energy. I grabbed a drink and stood by the bar, wondering how the evening would play out. That's when a guy walked up beside me. "Is there room for me on this dance card?" he asked with a light smile. I looked up. He seemed a bit younger than me, but his face had this calm, genuine expression. I didn't say anything, just smiled and stepped onto the dance floor. I knew then, this evening wouldn't be spent alone. The DJ was playing a slow, mellow tune. Our first dance was pretty close, but there was a real sense of respect, a certain sensitivity. I felt myself calm down. His presence, his politeness, and this unseen gentleness inside him, it all just made me feel good. After the dance, we sat off to the side. He spoke easily, genuinely, even a little nervously it seemed. That kind of transparency is super rare. "Is this your first time here?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "I've wanted to come for ages, but I never had the guts to come alone." "Glad you did. It's my lucky night," he said. And there was this quiet excitement in his eyes. We didn't need a long conversation after that. Some people just click, building an invisible connection in no time. We chatted for quite a while. Small daily experiences, likes and dislikes, funny stories. Time just seemed to fly by. He mentioned he had a small apartment close to the city. Maybe a bit messy, but peaceful. I laughed and said, "It doesn't matter if your place is a bit of a mess. If the person's good, everything feels right." The evening slowly deepened. We left together, and I drove my car, following his. The road was pretty empty. We stopped once at a red light and chatted briefly on our phones, then set off again. As I drove, I kept thinking, how did all this happen so easily? It was like a movie scene, where 2 strangers, a bit tired of life, suddenly merge onto the same path on a single evening. I had no idea what the coming days would hold, or when we'd see each other again. But right then, I just wanted to soak it all in. This easy, effortless start to an unknown connection. His car pulled over in a quiet corner of the city, and he came around to my side. In the dim light, I could see a calm sense of relief on his face, like someone who'd found their way home. His apartment was part of an old building, where a family probably lived once upon a time. That sense of completeness was gone now, but a quiet peace lingered within its walls. He opened the door and invited me in. A small living room, a table in one corner with some books, scattered notepads, a guitar. It all felt simple, yet intimate. Like someone had made a home for their solitude, just so. I sat on the couch, and he asked, "Want anything to eat or drink?" I thought for a moment. Not really, but a hot cup of tea would be amazing. He went to the kitchen to make tea. I looked around, noticing the small details of the room. A few pictures on the wall, a river, mountains, a sunset. One was an old, faded picture of a little girl holding a doll. I was looking at it when he came back and said, "That's my younger sister. She lives abroad now." He sat beside me, tea in hand. His eyes glowed softly in the faint light from the street lamp outside the window. We slowly began to talk about how we grew up, how time changes people, how some relationships, even those that feel right, just can't be held on to. He said, Sometimes it's easier to be happy without the person you love than with them. But it's hard to figure out. I was quiet for a bit. There was truth in what he said, something I might have felt myself, but couldn't put into words. I said, "Maybe that's why I came here tonight, to figure some things out for myself." He nodded. "That's exactly why I came too. I wanted to sit with someone and just talk openly. Somehow, it became easy with you. There were fewer words between us then, more feeling." He picked up his guitar and played a soft melody. Like the gentle murmur of a calm river after dusk. I knew tonight wouldn't change my life, but it would make life a little easier. It was getting late. I stood up, grabbing my bag. He stood beside me, a hint of uncertainty in his eyes. I said, "I'm heading home tonight, but I have a feeling this isn't the end of our meeting." He smiled, nodding slightly. "I'll be waiting." As I walked towards the door, he asked, "Do you want me to walk you to your car?" "No, I'm good," I said. Whatever this night was, I want to end it on my own terms. The outside air felt fresh. I got into my car and rolled down the window. The city breeze felt good on my skin. As I drove, his face kept coming back to me. A sense of steadiness, respect, a possibility. A lot of things in my life might not be perfectly aligned. Maybe the future of this connection is still uncertain. But that's life, isn't it? New light sparks amidst uncertainty. Tonight, I was driving home alone, but it felt like someone was quietly, calmly, inside me. Waking up the next morning, it felt like something had shifted. The sky outside the window was a bit hazy, but I felt strangely clear inside. Mentally, I felt a lot lighter. I knew I had a tough decision to make today. That old relationship, once deep, but now just a habit. It was time to end it. With a long sigh, I picked up my phone. Very briefly, very calmly, I said, "We both know this isn't working anymore. I want you to be happy, but apart." He didn't say anything, just a long silence. Then, "I understand. Take care." I hung up the phone and stared out the window. It felt like a door to one chapter had closed, and I was stepping onto a new road. In the afternoon, his text came in. "Want to go for a walk today? There's a spot I'd like to show you." I thought for a moment, then replied, "Yeah. Where should we meet?" We met at an old park. Shady paths, birds chirping, and the distant laughter of children. It was a pure, fresh environment. He had 2 coffee cups in his hand, offering one to me. "You know," he said, "I don't feel like I just spent time with a stranger last night. It felt more like someone I'd known for ages, suddenly found again." I smiled. Sometimes, even if people are strangers, they find a place in your heart. We walked slowly, talking about all sorts of things, future plans, life values, even small joys. I told him I loved to write, especially stories about feelings. He said he took photos, mostly of unknown corners of the city, where stories quietly resided. "Do you ever think about putting your writing and my photos together?" he asked. "I think I could," I said. "Words and pictures. They're both ways of expressing feelings." As evening approached, we sat on a bench under a reddish sky. Birds were heading home. Children were returning with their parents. We just sat there, saying a lot without words. He said, "I don't know how long we'll be together, but I'll remember this moment. If you want, we can take it slow, together, with no promises. Just honesty and respect." I nodded. "Let's do that. Who knows where life will take us, but I want to cherish this beginning." That evening marked the start of our new journey. Neither of us made any promises, but we both knew we'd try. To spend time together, to understand each other, to find the light within ourselves. And so, the journey that began with a random evening encounter ended. And another one began. A new trust, new courage, and a pure, deep current of connection.